Welcome to the Intuitive Hour with psychic medium, author, and intuitive life coach, Michelle Beltran. The Intuitive Hour will empower you to learn how to magnify your intuitive voice. Listen in and expand your understanding of what it means to be psychic and how to awaken, amplify, and trust your inner voice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are diving fully and completely into clairaudience today at the Intuitive Hour, how to recognize it, how to develop it, what it is, and how to unlock its full potential. Welcome. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm delighted you're here. Just to give you some recap, what is clairaudience anyway? Let's talk a little bit about what it is. If you've been following the Intuitive Hour, you know I do teach about clair abilities. This gift of clairaudience, though, it's very unique, it's very fundamental, and it's all about hearing subtle sounds or tuning in to the messages from higher realms. Clairaudience actually was derived from a German word, and it means clear hearing. It's connected with that fifth chakra, which is our throat chakra. This very powerful chakra, symbolized by a vibrant blue color, acts as the gateway to our clairaudient abilities. When it's activated and it's balanced, it is absolutely going to help you sharpen your mental clarity, open the channels to the subtle sounds and vibrations and messages and psychic downloads that you're meant to receive. You just have to listen. So, to begin unlocking this, I want to ask you to first focus your attention on that throat area. And do that with me right now if you would. Just take a moment and visualize the chakra spinning like a bright blue disc, alive with energy. Simply allowing your attention to rest in this area says hello to this ability, and it helps initiate and start the process of opening to your clairaudience. Just this intention and attention to very different but powerful things toward this area, that fifth chakra. So I recommend trying this very simple exercise. Sit quietly in a comfortable position, swallow, and listen intently to the sounds of the swallow. Notice how much louder or different it may seem when you focus on this. This heightened awareness of sound is your introduction to how clairaudience unfolds within you. By deliberately practicing this kind of focused hearing, tuning in, setting an intention and an attention there, you are retraining your auditory perception to become more attuned to subtle and spiritual messages. So now you'll hear them. All right, so is clairaudience your primary psychic or intuitive ability? Well, let's talk about how to identify that. Every single one of us perceives psychic information differently. So to discover if clairaudience is your dominant gift, your primary tap into sort of psychic source, if you will, then you want to reflect on your sensory perceptions and your preferences and even your language. So, for example, think about for a moment your last conversation with a friend, coworker, family member, what have you. Did you focus primarily on the words you heard from them, rather than visual gestures or emotional undertones? Think about that for a moment. Now, sometimes it's all of them, but typically there will be one that will come forward the loudest for you. Again, perhaps you can take a moment to recall the last movie, performance, TV show you saw and experienced. Were you more captivated by the music, the dialogue, or sound effects than by the visuals or the emotional feeling you had? If you consistently find yourself naturally paying closer attention to sounds and audio elements, that may indicate that clairaudience is your primary psychic sense. That said, if visual elements stand out more to you, your dominant gift may lean towards clairvoyance, which means clear seeing. So it's really essential to identify your strength so that you can work on developing your own unique psychic pathway with confidence. You first have to understand what jumps out for you. All right, let's talk a little bit about a meditation. I'd like to give you a meditation for developing this ability. This is one of the most effective tools for sharpening psychic talent, inviting it forward, welcoming it in. So number one, sit in a nice, settled, quiet, even sacred space that you have. You can lie down or you can sit. We just need it to be quiet. We need it to be comfortable in yours, an environment where you're not disturbed. Next, really focused on your breathing. Okay, take 2 or 3 or 4 deep, slow breaths to center yourself and relax, calling your energy back to you. Maybe even making an agreement with your subconscious self that you're going to come back to all the busy, necessary things of the day later. But for now, we're going to focus on our breath. Belly breaths are even better. Next, pay attention to the layers of sounds around you. So start by noticing the sounds closest. What's right around you within a few feet? What are you hearing? Perhaps there's a computer nearby where you can hear the gentle buzz of that sound, the hum of a fan, or the rustling of fabric. Now, expand to the next layer out. Expand your awareness to sounds slightly farther away. Noises perhaps within the entire home or office space you're in, or general area. What's happening there? Gradually extend your focus to sounds beyond your house, distant traffic sounds or birds chirping nearby. I have a fairly major thoroughfare not too far from here, and in the evening hours, I can hear it, yet it's half a mile away or more. So what's out in that level for you? What do you hear in that distance? And then finally, tune into the faintest, most distant noises you can perceive. Next, having listened to the layers of sound and tuned into them, now listen to the silence. Pay close attention to the quality of silence around you. Even silence has a presence or vibration if you listen deeply. If you hear a song or a phrase come to you during this exercise, this meditation, it absolutely could be a message from spirit guides. Tune into that. Please do keep a journal nearby when you do this meditation to record any impressions or messages you receive during this. And over time, this practice will heighten your auditory sensitivity and deepen your connection to that spiritual guidance. All right, and how sounds may manifest for you as you're developing this ability. So clairaudient messages come in two ways. I like to describe them as outer sounds and inner sounds. Outer sounds being those that appear to come from an external source, much like hearing someone just literally and physically speak to you. For example, you may hear your name being called when no one is present. That sounds quite odd, I know, but that has absolutely happened to me, and I'm sure many of you experienced it, where you just heard that sound or a ring as if it was right there. Sometimes it happens and just sort of wakes you right out of sleep. I remember distinctly on one occasion hearing my own sister call out to me as I was about to fall asleep, even though she was nowhere nearby. It was as if I heard her voice right there saying my name. So these outer sounds often hold important messages. In this case, I knew it was time to reach out, something going on there with her. This was my guidance, my insight to connect. Inner sounds. Inner sounds are subtler, and they resemble thoughts or inner dialogue. They might even sound like your own voice at first. So you may also notice physical signs tied to your developing here in this clairaudience area and realm. You might notice ear ringing, you might notice whooshing sounds, or even sensitivity to noise. This heightened awareness is a natural part of tuning into higher vibrational frequencies, so be patient and trust the process. It's a sign that your abilities are blossoming if any one of these things happen. All right, a tool here to dial in, tune in to this clairaudient just a little bit more. It's a fun little exercise that I think of and I teach students to think of as they're tapping into this ability. Imagine it, though, as your clairaudience as tuning into a radio station of sorts, just as you adjust a radio's frequency or any musical instrument's frequency or volume to hear it louder, to hear your favorite station or music. You're going to dial into this clairaudient ability in the same way, but we do it visually. So close your eyes, imagine a radio, a music box, what have you, whatever you want to think of, your phone, maybe you've got a music device, whatever it is, you can use that, but visualize it. And second, imagine creating an energetic connection from your ears to that radio, to that music device, where you're receiving that sound. Now, third, adjust the frequency through intention, sort of like turning up the volume with intention. Visualize the static that might be there clearing up. Visualize the clear audio sound perception coming through directly to you, and then the messages will become crisp and distinct. Just a simple little tool here, a fun but simple tool that helps you to just take a further leap and connect even deeper through visualization with that clairaudient ability. It's going to help you focus and refine and receive messages much, much more clearly. Everyone's a little bit different. Sometimes it's the meditation, sometimes it's this tool, sometimes it's everything combined that helps them grasp this ability stronger. All right, hearing messages from your spirit guides, one of the most profound aspects I want to share with you all is that clairaudience is really about communicating with our spirit guides, those that we work with on a spiritual level, mentors. Some of you may be working with archangels. Often, spirit guides use your inner voice to convey messages, making it easy to dismiss them as your own thoughts. So, to distinguish between your thought and guidance from spirit, your higher team, if you will, pay really close attention to the tone of the message. Here's what I mean. Messages from your guides, your team, higher psychic messages are going to feel loving, supportive, insightful. They drop in gently. You don't have to go look for them or find them. There's just a deep sense of aha. I like to sometimes describe it as an aha moment. It just finds you and it feels right. It might be described as that yes energy. It's something like that when it's coming from your guides. They may offer solutions or perspectives you just aren't going to have yourself. So really tune into those moments of feelings like that. Developing your ability to hear your guides definitely takes time. Don't rush this. It will come. Be patient. And remember that every attempt you make brings you closer to clearer communication with your guides. All right, and I'd like to provide you with a short but very powerful exercise to support you. You can do daily. In fact, I recommend it every morning. You can do this to actually sharpen that clairaudience and those messages that you are receiving as downloads from your team, the higher realms. It's very simple. Sit quietly and focus on your ears. Take your attention there and nowhere else. Be fully and completely present in your ears. Visualize them now growing larger and larger in your mind's eye. See your ears wide open, pulsing with energy, receiving. Now, notice any sensations around your ears. You might feel tingling, warmth, maybe you'll hear a buzz. Be sure to really be in tune and notice those things that are happening. Last, throughout the day, listen closely to every sound coming in. Any sound that grabs your attention or jumps out or holds that aha or yes energy, just gets your attention overall, that means you need to stop and listen. So jot it down. You may not know what it means right in that moment, but jot it down. Anything unusual or noteworthy in your journal, let it be. Come back to it the next day, and sometimes it's the next week that the knowing comes. Just jot it down and capture those moments, and pay attention to patterns. You'll begin to notice that patterns of sounds are coming through to you. So over time, you begin to decipher the meaning. It's much like a code. Good. So regular practice, everyone. This is going to signal your subconscious that you're ready to fully activate your clairaudient abilities. Couple more things I want to talk about here as we begin to wind down. One is overcoming this fear and trusting the process. It's so very common to feel hesitant or unsure about exploring psychic abilities, especially if you've never done so before. It's new. We expect that. Let's call that the good fear, though. That fear means you care, and we want you to care. So it's important to remember that clairaudience comes from a place of love, connection, light, goodness. It's here to help you. It's a gift, and it's meant to enhance your life and deepen your spiritual awareness and help others. Hold that knowing in your heart. Daily meditation is essential for this. If you're feeling a little bit of hesitancy, just sit in that silent space. Just be. If you're unsure where to begin, I invite you to listen to my guided meditations here at the Intuitive Hour, specifically designed for a clairaudience. This will guide you along in your learning and help you to release that fear, learn to trust the process, and tune into your own gifts naturally. Developing your clairaudience, it's such a gradual process. It's not something to rush. We don't want it to come overnight. Take your time. The guidance of an experienced mentor, whoever you choose that to be, is so very important. Any additional learning, books you can read, always very helpful. Trust your own sense about who your teachers and guidance are. I highly recommend my book, Take the Leap, What It Really Means to Be Psychic. If you don't have a resource and you can go from there, I do mention other books and learning within my own book, but perhaps you have your own guidance and teachers as well. Trust your own sense about that. Make sure, though, you're in quality education and development. Take time to research any programs you enter into. I always recommend, if you are just learning and you're not sure where to go, that's okay too. We call that a brainstorming time. And that's a perfect place to be. If that's the case for you, great. Just read and learn about all the things that hold that yes energy for you. Be a sponge for the metaphysical and enjoy that time for a few months. The knowing about what development program or next steps for you will come. All right, everyone, I am delighted you have been with me again here today for another episode all about clairaudience. I look forward to meeting with you all next week.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Intuitive Hour, please consider following, rating, and reviewing the podcast at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You're welcome to access Michelle's free controlled remote viewing exercise that will empower you to uncover answers to your burning questions about lost objects, events, or people in the past, present, or future. Visit michellebeltran.com to access this free offering and rediscover what was once lost.